Ysa is an events host, voice talent, radio DJ, and PSL's first female Coliseum announcer. She has done major voice commercials which are heard daily by thousands of Filipinos on the road. Ysa continues to use her powerful voice to inspire others both on the court and on air.
Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of In Love With Me, where we feature inspiring individuals who will share their amazing stories. I am your host, Mafae Yunon Velasco. For this series, our topic is being empowered during quarantine. For this episode, we have an events host and a singer, a professional singer, to motivate us and to take action. So without further ado, let me welcome the beautiful and amazing Ysa Chong. Hi, Ysa.
Hello. Yay, thanks for having me, Mafae.
Of course. Thanks for being with me. It's been years and years since I've known you, Ysa, and so much has happened. I've watched you do so many things, and I'm so proud of you. First and foremost, I just want to tell you that. Well, now we're in this challenging times, and I do want to know what you've been up to. But before that, please share with everyone how you became the strong-willed person you are today.
Okay, I feel like, because for other people, they say that it starts with their family, their upbringing, etc. But for me, I think it came from experience also. Because when I met you a few years ago, like you would know also how I really lack self-esteem, and I was going through such a tough part of my life. But I guess it's through experience and just really persevering that you get to become stronger, and more able to just take on whatever challenges thrown your way. So, yeah.
Yeah, I remember all of that. I was just like your cheerleader, telling you, Ysa, you could do it. You're gorgeous. You're beautiful. With all the talents you have, singing, hosting. I'm pretty sure you can act too. You also joined a pageant. Can you share a little bit about that?
Sure. But yeah. Oh my gosh. Sometimes when I think about those days that when I first met you, like I get embarrassed because I remember myself. I was just so, I don't know, I was so not confident with myself. And I remembered always just doubting myself but yeah, it's been years. So as you mentioned, I already got out of my shell, and pageantry was one thing that I just tried because I felt like I needed to try so many things, and I didn't think that I would be able to make it into a pageant, but it was also just coincidental. So I always tell this story. I was just tapped to host that pageant. It was an ecotourism pageant. And the organizers were like, "Oh, why don't you join?" I was like, "No, are you kidding me?" But when I tried out for it, yeah, I made it. And I only got to do 2 pageants. Pero, it built up my confidence in a way, taught me a lot of things, and taught me how hard it is to be a pageant queen. So I don't know how you guys do it, but yeah.
Yeah, it is challenging. But like you said, you had your down days, right? So can you share with us on how you picked up yourself and what motivated you through that journey of becoming even the first female announcer for the volleyball league?
Yeah. For me, my whole life has just been trying out many things. When I was in college, that's when I started getting into I got into radio for a radio station in LaSalle called Green Giant FM. And after that, when I see like casting calls, auditions, whatever, I just went for it. But then I experienced so many rejections, as in super dami talaga, that I got discouraged every time. But throughout the years, you also mature and you learn to just accept the fact that you're not bound to get every single audition or yeah. But oh, I see comments. But yeah. Um, so yeah, for PSL, when I tried it out, I didn't know anything about volleyball. So for me, it was something new. And I wasn't sure again. I was doubting myself. I was telling myself, oh, maybe I'm not gonna be able to do this. But with a little push from my mentors, friends, and also it's my current boyfriend who actually asked me to try it out. It was challenging, you had to do a lot of studying and a lot of immersion, but when I got there, I don't know, it's just one event after the other. So I started from PSL and then went to Sea Games, last year's Sea Games, and UAAP recently, but yeah, because of the coronavirus pandemic, unfortunately, we had to stop. But yeah.
But I see, just in this current times, you found an opportunity during this pandemic. I saw that you were posting on social media, practicing the voices of what's that, the gaming community. Can you tell us about that?
So I'm a voice talent also, but I'm used to doing announcer voices. So it's basically, I don't know if you've heard the commercial of Enervon. Like Enervon, araw-araw. Yeah, I was the one who did that. And I'm so used to doing those kinds of voices. But then ever since I've been wanting to try out voice acting more. So I got casted for a couple of commercials, but I've never really done character acting. And yeah, it was my friend Joe who actually encouraged me to do the Mobile Legends voicing. And I tried it out and, it's not perfect, but it was fun to do. Yeah.
So what would you give, what would advice that you would give to people that want to become, a voice talent? Where do they start? Where do they begin?
I just started reading out books, reading books out loud. So that's my practice before. So I wanted to get that neutral American accent. And what I did was just watch a lot of American movies and read books out loud. And that really helped because I did that for years also. And yeah, for me, I guess it's just really practice because what you do with either your accent enunciation, pronunciation, and your voice, it has to come from years of practice too. So, yeah.
So when you get on stage or when you first, I guess, before a game starts or an event starts as a host and as an announcer, do you have like a ritual that you do before your event starts just to help you hype yourself?
Oh my gosh, I guess it's a little bit of just dancing and just loosening up. Because I used to also have, believe it or not, when I was starting out in college hosting, I still had stage fright. So I don't know if you remembered also when I was singing before, because I performed a couple of mini concerts with you guys. Yeah, I was every time it's time to go on stage, I just felt super, super, I don't know, anxious and scared, nervous. And for me, what I just do now, since it's also been years of me hosting, so I guess, I don't know, I don't want to call it confidence because I still feel nervous, but yeah, I just loosen up by, I don't know, talking to people and just telling myself that I don't have to be so uptight as to follow the script all the time or, think about what people would think of me if I say this and that, whatever. So yeah, and it helps when there's loud music and you get to dance before going up on stage.
Just getting yourself loose, right?
Yeah.
So during this quarantine, have you learned anything new about yourself?
About myself, well, it's been honestly tough. Well, for sure, for every one of us, it's been tough physically, mentally, I guess. And I don't know, for me, like, I just learned how to be more mentally strong, I guess. And I think that applies for all of us because it's so hard to just all of a sudden be in isolation, right? After, especially because before the pandemic, I was doing radio and hosting, and I was always with people, socializing. So I feel like that's what I had to teach myself also, to be mentally strong. And aside from that, I got to also catch up with friends and
Mhm.
I don't know, learn a thing or two to just improve myself. So.
Mhm. Are you exercising, or is there a new routine for your workouts, or maybe your food? Are you baking also like everybody else?
Oh, not really. I want to bake though. I want to try. That's one thing I want to try. But for the quarantine, yeah, I started getting back to working out again.
Mhm.
So I'm doing this exercise that's live on Facebook. It's called Fitness
Mhm.
Lockdown. It was started by one of my fellow DJs. Yeah. So
Mhm.
um, yeah, I just do that. Started doing that, and also I have, what do you call this, Chinese lessons then. So I'm
Mhm.
starting to just refresh my Mandarin. So at least coming out of this quarantine, I would have
Yeah.
learned something, yeah, new.
Going back to your career, what is the most rewarding for you about your job?
Um, ever since I always tell myself, beauty pageant answer, but I always tell myself that, I just really want to be able to help people and
Mhm.
I don't know, like contribute to someone's life,
Mhm.
um, no matter what way that I can. And I guess with my job, it's technically an events host job to make people happy, right? And to just, pump up the crowd. And aside from that, just really in your own way, inspire people as well. So yeah,
Mhm.
I've done. Oh, I just realized the past week that I've been hosting for almost a decade now, and I feel old.
Yes,
But yeah, thank
congratulations. That's
you.
amazing, Isa. Like I said, I've always been proud of you, and you've got this great talent. I know you can share with everyone. I did see you in action. When was that? I think we were just talking about that during the finals. Was it a finals game? Yes, finals game.
Yeah,
Because I was there to cheer on Calais and her team, and you were the announcer, and I was just like,
yeah.
wow, go Isa.
And people don't, I don't know, like when you say announcers, some people mistake that as, sportscasters who are actually on the panel, right? So, yeah, what we do is also an actual job. No. But yeah, I'm the one who calls out, like, I don't know, the score
Every
or
single
the
point.
play. Yeah, play
It's
now, like
so
that. But yeah, it was challenging because can you imagine? I feel like everyone's been used to the
fun.
male voice, right? Because
Right.
it's so booming and so like wow. But yeah, I think it's about time also for females to step up and
Mhm.
try it out. And I don't know, the past year I've seen more and more females actually
Mhm.
try Coliseum announcing, and
Mhm.
it's not an easy feat because
Mhm.
can you imagine, like, especially during SEA Games, I announced for the volleyball games,
Yes.
male and female volleyball games, and
Mhm.
it was just crazy because can you imagine the crowd? Like,
Yes.
everyone's just roaring and shouting and everything, and you have to compete with with a
Mhm.
crowd, which is, yeah, but it
So
was fun.
how do you concentrate with that? Like, let's say you make a mistake. What
Uh,
happens in your mind? Or how do you make yourself like, okay, just get over it? Like, just get back to the groove. Is that what you do?
it's usually like that. Like, we just, I don't know, sometimes we just laugh about it because there's a
Mhm.
lot of us on the table. And so usually when I make mistakes, I just look to the person on my left or right and just laugh at myself. And we just laugh at it. But then again, it's
Mhm.
also, I don't know, I sometimes think about it too much,
Yeah.
especially when I get home. Oh my gosh, that's what I said. But yeah, later on you'll realize that it happens to everyone.
Right. So have you ever had anyone like criticize you in a negative way, or maybe one of the players get angry at you? What did you do in that situation?
I haven't experienced any player getting angry at me, but I did see like haters online. But it was funny because some of them actually said that I sounded like I sounded like Mobile Legends
Oh,
also. But then again, I don't know. But I feel like I can sound like Mobile Legends. But yeah, I also just laughed at that. Whenever I see comments like that, I can't lie. Sometimes it affects me, but
Mhm.
you have to just brush it off. And yeah.
So apart from hosting, being an announcer, what are your other passions that you love or hobbies?
I love writing. So it's actually the first thing that I was continuously doing ever since I was a
Mhm.
kid. I used to write songs and poems, but I stopped now. So what I do usually, I just write a lot of essays, even at
Mhm.
home or when I feel overwhelmed. So I don't know if a lot of people do that, but for me, when I get overwhelmed or I just feel like I need a release, then I
Mhm.
write. So that's one thing that I think I'm passionate about.
And I
Oh,
have
and
to
I
thank
wrote an article in
yeah, you
Nix.
wrote an article about my family. That was
Yeah.
so amazing, Isa. And I know that was your first time writing for that publication, right?
Yeah, for a newspaper publication
Yes.
that actually got published. Yeah,
That
that
was
was
so
fun to
nice.
write.
So sweet.
But
It
I really love your family, and
thank
yeah, I
you.
think it's awesome, talaga, that you guys do this together.
Hmm.
So,
And we've been supporting you ever since first time I met you. I still can't recall. How did we meet again?
uh, I don't even remember, but yeah, we've known each
Once
other
in
for
a-
what,
Oh, yeah, I know. I know now.
5 years? Oh, you know now. Hi, but yeah, it's been I don't know 5 years, ba 6 years.
Yeah, it seems like it. It was
Yeah.
when Nick
Oh my
created
god, long time
the
ago.
Ysa team, the basketball
Yeah.
team. And we were the muses, remember?
Yes. Okay, got it. Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. But are you wanting to achieve going back to pageantry, modeling, or perhaps singing in a concert? Is that something on your bucket list still?
Yes, pageantry, I feel like, well, I am overage now. So, but modeling, I've been wanting to try. I've told you this also that,
Mhm.
I want to try, but I feel like, I don't know, like I can't even walk straight in heels. So, but it's
That's
definitely
minor.
something
That's
that
a
I want to try.
minor thing to.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
I think I
regardless,
remember asking you about your modeling workshop because I was planning
yes.
to join. Yeah,
Well,
so
you have me on your speed dial, so go ahead and
I
just
know.
take the time, Isa.
Oh my God.
You have the beauty and you have the brain, so you are already um, two 2 feet inside the door. I mean, don't even think about walking. I mean, I think when it comes to walking and posing, that's really the easy side of modeling. I can attest to that. It's really what you've educated yourself in, which is speech, communication skills. You have it already. So life is unlimited, Isa. Like I've told you before, you're already there. You're on a stage pretty much every day, even if it's just your voice being heard.
Yeah.
I have a question here online. What was the funniest memory of you when announcing? Is there
Oh
any
my
memory?
God. I don't I don't remember specifically, but there were a lot. It was mostly mispronunciations
Mm.
or me calling a player by the wrong first name. So wait, I forgot what it. Okay, so there's player, of course. I think volleyball fans would know. For example, Ellie Soyud,
Mm-hmm.
because her name is Christine Joy Soyud, and I said out
Oh.
loud, I called her as CJ Soyud. And so when I said that, I was like, because you couldn't correct yourself,
Right.
Although you can, but most of the time you just let it be.
Mm-hmm.
So when I make mistakes like that, I usually just look at the person beside me who just laugh about it. But yeah, for me, I do feel embarrassed though when that
Mm-hmm.
happens to me, because yeah,
Because people can replay the game and hear it again.
yeah,
It's always
yeah, and I do that also. Like when I get home, I watch the games and I hear myself announcing. So when I make a mistake, oh my gosh, so
Mhm.
embarrassing. But yeah, it's part of it. Like that's what
Right.
my mentors always
Mhm.
remind me that everyone makes mistakes
Right.
because yeah, it's bound to
But
happen.
I think what helps you, and maybe this is something you can share on. I know athletes or actors, they rewatch what they've done, right, just so that they can see how they can do things better. I mean, like me, every time I do an interview, I rewatch it again, and so that I can see
Yeah.
where like, oh, I should have said this, or I should have stopped talking. You know, do you do that?
Yeah, of course, a lot of times. Actually, not a lot of times, all the time.
Mhm.
So whatever interview I have, like whether or not I'm hosting or every time that I'm announcing for, especially for SEA Games before, because
Mhm.
I felt like that was, I don't know, that was a very important part of my career,
Right.
because I was calling international games,
Yes.
and I had just started prior, like I think a year prior to that or same year.
Mhm.
So yeah, for me, I try to just listen to myself and just see where I can improve. So I do that a lot, all
Mhm.
the time.
So, who are your idols or mentors that you always have looked up to, aspired to be? Can you share them with us?
Yes, so I attended a sportscasting workshop. I think
Mhm.
I told you about this also, yeah. And um, Noel Zarate, he says
Yes.
hi, by the way.
Yes.
So
Hi, Noel.
he's my mentor, yeah. So he
Mhm.
does sportscasting workshops,
Mhm.
and even 2 years after I had graduated from that workshop,
Mhm.
we still do a lot of get-togethers and practices. So
Mhm.
yeah, and there's this. I what I love about it is the community, because
Right.
we really I don't know, like just push one another and we cheer one another on, and I think that's
Mhm.
awesome because in everything that I did, I feel like um, my successes, whether big or small, came from the fact that there were people behind me, just pushing me and encouraging me. Yeah.
Yeah. I have
So
another question.
yeah, basically my mentor is Noel.
Mhm. What about internationally? Is there any announcers or event hosts that you look up to?
Yeah, for sportscasting specifically, it's always been Kirsten Ledlow. Yeah, so of course the NBA courtside reporters are
Mhm.
the people that I really look up to, and I
Mhm.
hope someday I get to that point also. But yeah, as of now, I'm just thinking that I just really need to improve on
Claim
whatever I
it,
can do.
Lisa. Dream big always. You'll get.
Yeah.
I have another question here. How do you focus saying your piece as an announcer when the crowd is very noisy around you? All the way
Yeah,
from
you just.
hi, mom. That's my mom.
Oh my gosh, hi. But yeah, that's one of the challenges because you know um male announcers have booming voices and they can compete with very, very noisy crowds. I think the last time I saw you was finals game in Araneta
Yes.
Coliseum, right? And that was the first time that I've ever announced in Araneta. And grabe, the crowd was crazy.
Yes.
Um, when I don't know, based on that experience and SEA Games also, like when
Mhm.
I announce, I could barely hear myself, but then you just need to keep on
Right.
because also like they can hear you on TV or on live
Mhm.
stream, right? Whether or not you can hear yourself. So for me, it's important to just focus.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's the number one thing that you need to do.
I guess you answered this already. The most embarrassing moment as a DJ.
Yeah, uh, as a DJ
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you have, or or hosting. Let's talk about hosting.
for hosting, I think it's really the pronunciations also.
Mm-hmm.
Like recently when I got back, tatawa pa rin ako when I remembered. When I got back recently from the ECQ, because it's been the
Yeah.
third week since we've been back, since the ECQ, I said, I think it was end of Ramadan,
Mm-hmm.
and I was feeling the music, and I was like, "Hey, good morning, and I hope you're doing well." Blah blah. Oh, by the way, today's a holiday. Happy holiday. Something like that. Like you say it wrong, and you can't really. Sometimes you don't even notice it,
Because you're
right? So
in
it's something.
your group.
Yeah, because you're so focused on saying your spiels. So
Right.
yeah,
Is there,
but yeah, you just make them.
is there a certain technique of memorizing your spiel or the way that you express your voice when you're on hosting?
Oh, for hosting, eventually throughout the years, you just learn to not look at your script. So
Mm-hmm.
most of the time, they either give you a script or the program flow. And for me, even if it's just program flow, I make it a point to still write my script.
Right.
But then I don't count on it in a way that, I look at it every time.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, you read through it and you internalize it. And as soon
Yeah.
as you internalize it, when you get to the stage, you know how to just deliver your spiels without looking, because you already know what to say. So
Yeah, because I
yeah.
remember even the first time I was given a hosting opportunity, maybe the same as you, it was hard for me to ad lib. I guess it comes
Hmm.
through time, but it was like, okay, give me a card and I'm just reading it.
Yeah.
I mean, what would be your advice to people who want to be a host within your first gig or your first job? That's the way you're feeling. Like, how could they prepare, I guess?
You can still do that. Like, of course, the first few years when I started out hosting, I was still looking at the script also. And like you said, yeah, it comes with time.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I feel like confidence is really important. So
Right.
even if you're nervous, like try your best to
Mm-hmm.
just forget about shake off the nerves, because that's what I try to do. Because I
Right.
realize that the more I'm nervous, like the more I'm bound to make mistakes
Mm-hmm.
because I overthink everything that I'm gonna say. So
Right.
that's one thing that I learned, especially when it comes to ad libs, because I was bad at that too, very bad. So yeah, that's what I did. Like I learned to just shake off the nerves and just
Mhm.
let loose, and the words or the spiels will just flow through you.
Mhm. And you mentioned that you were at a low point in your life, right?
Hmm.
What you and I remember that too. That you would overthink yourself. You would
Yeah.
second guess your actions or your looks. Um, I know right now it could be a perfect timing for you to share on how you picked up yourself from overcoming those kind of feelings or being low like that.
Yeah, I think one thing was before also I was kind of like a pleaser as much as don't want to say it.
Right.
I wanted to make sure that everyone has good words to say about me. And I remember that time I met you also, like I don't know, I felt like I was super fat and ugly and all that. And I'm sure you remember that, right? But then now, like when I look back at my photos, I'm just like, what are you talking about?
Mhm.
So I don't know. It's just really your mindset.
Mhm.
That's the first important thing that you tweak, I guess.
Mhm.
So that's what I did. Of course, lowest points in my life included all the rejections that I've had to experience. But yeah, when you just really condition your mind into thinking that even if bad things happen or you get rejections here and there, it's part of life, and you just have to flow with it.
Mhm.
So yeah.
So amazing, Isa. It's like night and day. If everyone, guys, Isa I've known for years. And yes, I was there with her through her lowest of the low, and just seeing her change, into this beautiful woman who is just glowing. It makes me really proud because I already believed in her when she felt like what she was mentioning earlier, and for her to stand up and finally realize that she is a woman that can inspire others. This is amazing to me. Sorry, it's just
Thank
simple words
you.
for me because Isa is amazing, and I'm so glad that she's on the show right now to share her story because back then I know it was hard for her to believe that she can do all these things. Of course, it takes time. Of course, it takes patience and perseverance. I think that's the
Yes, for sure.
thing. And even we did not see each other face to face all those years. We kept in contact, and I believe she has surrounded herself with really strong individuals to empower her. Right? That's key for
That
you.
is, yeah, definitely. So great. Thanks for bringing that up, because that's really important, very important. Like, because even before, like, you guys were there, right? Like, you were encouraging me, all of you guys. But when I don't know, I feel like when you're in the presence of people who drag you down,
Uh,
like you're bound to go down with them too. So I feel like that's one thing that I did. Like I was
mhm.
able to just cut off, I don't know, people who who were toxic or who were dragging me down. And when you surround yourself with positive people who just want the best for you,
Yep.
it really shows.
Mhm.
Like it really shows in your life. It manifests. So
Mhm.
I think that's also partly what happened
Mhm.
in the past few years.
And it goes to show that you're not alone. Even
Yeah.
at times that you feel like you're alone, there's so many people out there are willing to help you. With that, I never gave up with Ysa because I just knew her potential, and I'm sure there were other people out there apart from me who were giving her that words of encouragement. I mean, your family alone will not turn their back from you. So you can reach out to them. Now I've introduced you guys to Ysa, and I'm pretty sure that she is more than happy to answer or give advice to anyone that is seeking it. There's another question here for you. What is your motto in life now, I guess?
Wow. um, oh my gosh. I guess it's the first thing that popped into my head and is what do you call this? People can't something along the lines of people can't make you feel inferior without your consent. Yeah. So I
Nice.
don't know if that's the exact thing, but
Mhm.
yeah, for me, that rings true and that weighs
Mhm.
heavy on me because I've always thought about what in my head it's always, oh my gosh, what are they gonna think
Right.
or what are they gonna say? And
Mhm.
as soon as you break out of that and just really trust yourself and know that you're doing good and
Mhm.
you're doing everything you can, as long as you're not stepping on people, then you're fine.
Exactly.
So yeah,
Just doing
I think
good for the universe. You get that in return, tenfold. I believe in that. And
yeah.
Issa, you've always been doing good. And it was really something blocking you in your mindset. And I think a lot of people can relate to you, especially in these challenging times. Just know, guys, like Issa was saying, that Um, don't let other people change your mindset into a negative, because it's really you choosing how you want to feel, how you want to act. Because at the end of the day, whatever you want to do in life, it's your choice. You know,
Yeah.
um, I think our parents can only hold our hands till about 10 years old or so. And then, and then by the time you graduate high school, even, you're already making decisions on your own. So, this is a platform where, aspiring people like Issa can already give you that fast track of knowing that, hey, snap out of it, because there's so many beautiful opportunities out there waiting for you. Right, Isa?
Yeah,
Before
and I remember uh-huh. No, I remembered another quote that goes, you can never fail. Something like you can never fail if you don't try, or something like that.
right,
Because
exactly.
that's one thing that I realize holds people back also, the fear of
Hmm.
failure, right?
Yeah.
So for me, yeah, you just I don't know, it starts with the conditioning of your mind and
Mhm.
just thinking that it's okay if I fail. I
Yeah.
can try again. So
And that's what you did, right? You mentioned you had so many rejections, and without those rejections, you weren't that strong. You didn't get stronger without those, because
mhm.
otherwise you wouldn't know how to get better.
Yes.
And there was another speaker that I had, Mike Swift. He was honest in saying that he was a man with many failures. That's the reason why he is the person he is today.
Yeah.
So, okay, guys, if someone says no, there is a yes coming up.
Yeah.
That's all that means. It wasn't meant for you at that time, but there is something bigger.
And you
So,
always come out wiser every
yes,
time.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So yes, Isa, before we wrap up, please share your words of wisdom to everyone, to the youth, to everyone listening and watching right now, on how we can be hopeful, especially at this time.
Yeah, for everyone who's at home and was really affected by the pandemic, it's so hard because we don't experience the same thing every time, but I guess we have to just really trust in the process and try is the key word, try to just pull ourselves up, and no matter what, we need to persevere and just keep at it. So I think that's what I'm gonna leave off with.
Thanks, Isa. And there you have it, guys. Take homes from Isa is always have believe in yourself, surround yourself with positive people that will empower you and keep you you know having a positive mindset. Keep educating yourself. Like with Ysa, she did was educate herself by watching American movies just to make sure that her American accent is doing well. So many platforms right now, guys, that you can reach online, even watching movies if you're going that route. As an actor, as an editor, producer, as even an events host, you watch all these YouTube channels or even watch Isa's past events. And
Oh
there
my
are
gosh.
some
Yeah.
volleyball games. So she for the volleyball fans out there, you can hear Isa's voice there.
Oh my gosh, you know what you guys should watch if you're planning to just watch something, a replay. It's the bronze medal match of the male volleyball team, national volleyball team.
Which
Yeah, that
countries?
was awesome game.
The
Do you remember
bronze.
that?
Which you were the one announcing.
Yeah. And
I remember.
it was the first
Oh,
time
hmm.
that the men's national volleyball team had a chance at a silver medal.
Hmm.
Or I think, yeah,
Yeah, that
in
was
so many
such
years.
amazing. Wow, so you're part of history, Isa. Imagine that. Could
Thank
you
you.
even think that you would come this far?
Not at all.
But
And
you
then
did.
yeah, you know, you don't know what can happen
Hmm.
in just a span of a year. Like a lot of things can happen, especially in your life, like that you never expected. So just keep on going and believe in yourself.
Exactly. And with that, guys, I don't even have to say anything extra because Isa said it all. Actions speak louder than words. And thank you guys for tuning in for another episode of In Love with Me. Thanks.
Thank you for watching In Love with Me series.